Stop for a second and imagine turning on a regular NBA game and suddenly realizing you are watching history explode in real time. That is exactly how Bam Adebayo's 83-point night against the Washington Wizards felt to everyone who saw it unfold. One moment it looked like just another game on the schedule. The next moment people were staring at the scoreboard asking themselves if this could possibly be real. Have you ever watched a game where something felt different from the very beginning? Did you feel that strange energy that tells you a story is about to change? If you have ever experienced that feeling as a fan, you know how quickly excitement spreads through the arena and across social media. Last night that energy belonged to Bam Adebayo. A player famous for defense, hustle, and leadership suddenly looked unstoppable as the points kept piling up. So let me ask you right now, if you had been watching from the first minute, would you have believed what was coming next? Think about it and tell someone near you, because the story only gets wilder from here, so stay with me because the night was just beginning now. Lightning struck early in the first quarter and it did not look like the Bam Adebayo fans thought they knew. Instead of setting screens and protecting the rim, he started scoring again and again and again until defenders looked confused. By the end of 12 minutes he already had 31 points on the board. Take a breath and think about that number for a second. 31 points in a single quarter. When you hear that, do you immediately reach for your phone to check if it is real? Would you believe it if a friend texted you that stat in the middle of dinner? Moments like that make fans lean closer to the screen because something rare is clearly happening. The Heat bench could feel it, the crowd could feel it, even the Wizards defenders probably felt the storm building. So let me ask you honestly, when a player catches fire that quickly, do you start rooting for history or hoping your team survives it? Share that answer with someone around you because the pace was only rising and Bam was nowhere near finished yet. Stay curious because the next part of the story turns unbelievable very fast. Wait until you hear what happened by halftime because the numbers somehow kept climbing higher. Bam Adebayo walked into the locker room with 43 points already scored. That is the kind of halftime total most stars dream about as a full game. Can you imagine sitting there as a teammate looking at the stat sheet and realizing you are witnessing the greatest offensive night of your friend's career? Did anyone in that room whisper the word history yet? Fans watching at home were already asking a bigger question. How high can this go? Have you ever watched a performance where every shot feels automatic and every possession seems designed for one player? When that rhythm appears, the entire arena holds its breath. That is what started happening in Miami as the third quarter approached. So think about your favorite player right now. If they had 43 by halftime, would you be calculating record books already? Tell the person next to you what number you would predict because the night was about to cross from exciting into truly historic territory and the pressure was only getting heavier. Stay locked in because the third quarter changed everything once again tonight. Hold on because the third quarter is where whispers about legends finally started echoing through the arena. Bam pushed his total to 60 points before the final period even began. 60 points. When you hear that number, what name pops into your mind first? Kobe Bryant maybe. Wilt Chamberlain perhaps. Those names live in the rare air of impossible scoring nights. Yet suddenly Bam Adebayo was standing on the same path. Did anyone expect that before tip-off? Probably not. That surprise is what makes sports magical sometimes. One ordinary matchup suddenly becomes a doorway to history. Have you ever watched a player reach 60 and instantly start wondering if records are about to fall? At that moment every possession feels heavier than the last. Fans lean forward, cameras zoom closer. Even opponents start realizing they are inside a story people will replay for years. So I want you to answer honestly right now. When you hear 60 points, do you start cheering for more or worrying about the defense collapsing? Say your answer out loud because the final quarter was about to bring the number everyone feared and dreamed about at the same time. Stay ready because 80 was suddenly close. Picture the tension building as the fourth quarter begins and suddenly every fan in the building is whispering the same number. 81, Kobe's legendary mark that basketball lovers treat almost like sacred ground. Now imagine Bam Adebayo charging straight toward it with unstoppable confidence. Do you remember the first time you heard about Kobe's 81-point masterpiece? Did it feel untouchable to you back then? Moments like this force fans to reconsider what is possible in a single night. Bam attacked the rim again and again, drawing fouls, stepping out for jumpers and refusing to slow down. The scoreboard kept climbing while the crowd counted along with every basket. Have you ever been inside a moment where the entire arena tracks the same number together? That shared excitement is why sports unite strangers instantly. So let me challenge you for a second. If your favorite player was approaching Kobe's mark, would you want them to chase it no matter what? Tell someone beside you because the pressure was rising with every possession and nobody knew whether Bam would stop at history or smash straight through it. Stay with me because the final number shocked the basketball world completely tonight. Brace yourself because the final number was 83 points. Yes, 83. When that total flashed across the arena scoreboard, the crowd erupted in disbelief. Have you ever seen a stat that made you blink twice just to confirm it was real? That was the reaction spreading across the basketball world within seconds. Bam Adebayo had just scored more than Kobe's famous 81, leaving only Wilt Chamberlain's 100 above him in history. Think about that mountain of a record for a moment. Does it shock you that a player known for defense suddenly climbed that close to the top of the scoring universe? Nights like this remind us that basketball still holds surprises. But here is the question everyone immediately started arguing about. How should we judge a performance like this? Do you celebrate the number alone or study every detail behind it? Turn to someone near you and share your instinct because the debate exploded almost as fast as Bam scored those points and the controversy was only beginning. Stay curious because the details behind those 83 points made the conversation even louder across the league today, and the arguments have not stopped yet anywhere tonight. Here's where the story becomes complicated because critics quickly noticed something unusual in the box score. Bam attempted 43 free throws and made 36 of them. When you hear that total, do you raise an eyebrow immediately? Many fans did. They started comparing the number with legendary scoring nights from Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, who never reached that many attempts. Does drawing fouls that often change the way you evaluate the achievement? Some people say free throws are part of smart defense and deserve credit. Others argue that they make the explosion feel different from pure shot making. What do you think honestly? Imagine you are watching the replay right now and counting every whistle. Would you still feel the same excitement, or would you start questioning the circumstances? Talk about that with someone nearby because this debate spread everywhere from locker rooms to television studios. Yet the night still required stamina, confidence, and relentless aggression from Bam himself. So answer this challenge clearly. Do numbers alone define greatness, or does context change everything? Think about it carefully because the next twist in the story made the controversy even bigger than anyone expected before the buzzer. Another spark of debate came from the opponent standing across the court that night. The Washington Wizards struggled all season defensively, and analysts often called them one of the weakest units in the league. When you hear that, does it change the weight of the 83 points in your mind? Some critics insist that a historic scoring night should happen against tougher resistance. Others argue that the NBA still contains the best athletes on earth regardless of record. Which side feels closer to your belief? Picture yourself guarding an NBA star for even one possession. Does it suddenly sound easy just because your team has a bad season? Probably not. That reminder keeps many fans defending Bam's achievement fiercely. Still, the arguments continued because another moment late in the game raised even more eyebrows. So tell me honestly, if you were watching your team trailing badly, would you still respect the record chase happening in front of you? Share that thought with someone beside you because the final minutes of the game created a strategy twist that pushed the conversation into completely new territory, and fans everywhere started shouting opinions about sportsmanship and competition all at once. Stay with me. Late in the game, something strange happened that instantly fueled the controversy even more. The Miami Heat intentionally fouled the Wizards several times to stop the clock and create extra possessions for Bam Adebayo. When you hear that tactic, do you feel excitement or discomfort? Supporters said the team simply recognized history and gave their teammate a chance to chase it. Critics argued that those fouls artificially pushed the scoring total higher. Which side speaks louder to you right now? Think about being on the court as the clock stops again and again while everyone watches one player hunt a number. Would you embrace that moment or wish the game ended naturally? Sports history is full of strange circumstances around legendary records. That is part of what keeps debates alive for decades. So answer this openly. If you were Bam in that situation, would you keep attacking or wave the moment away? Tell someone near you because this choice sits right at the heart of how fans judge greatness, and the conversation is far from finished. Yet, Stay listening because the final reflection about this night might change the way you see modern basketball entirely from this point forward today. Before we finish, let me ask you one powerful question that lingers after a night like this. What truly defines a historic basketball moment for you? Is it the raw number on the scoreboard or the emotion you felt while watching it unfold? Bam Adebayo's 83 points forced the entire basketball world to wrestle with that idea again. Some fans celebrate it as legendary instantly. Others will always attach an asterisk in their minds because of foul strategy and opponent strength. Yet think about the simple truth for a moment. Millions of people stopped what they were doing and watched one player chase something that seemed impossible only hours earlier. Have you ever felt that sudden rush when sports turns ordinary into unforgettable? That feeling is why we keep watching season after season. So here is my challenge for you today. Talk about this performance with friends, argue about it, debate every detail, and share your opinion proudly. Because the story of basketball grows through conversations exactly like this. And who knows? Maybe the next unbelievable scoring night is already waiting somewhere in the league right now, ready to start another argument tomorrow. Stay curious, keep watching, and tell everyone. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks be to God.